The Today studio was a vibrant epicenter of morning television energy, its iconic Rockefeller Plaza set bathed in golden light and buzzing with the cheers of an enthusiastic audience as the upbeat themed music faded, signaling the start of a blockbuster segment on a crisp September 2025 morning. Chaka Khan, the Grammy-winning queen of funk known for her powerhouse voice and hits like I'm Every Woman and Ain't Nobody, glided onto the stage in a bold red pantsuit, her radiant smile and commanding presence drawing thunderous applause from the crowd, there to promote her Queen's Tour with Patti LaBelle and Stephanie Mills, fresh off the September 11, 2025, announcement that had fans buzzing about a historic lineup of music legends. The air hummed with the promise of a lively interview, given now Roker's reputation for warm, engaging banter and Chaka's history of unfiltered passion, as seen in her 2023 Today appearance where she discussed her Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction with heartfelt fire. Al, seated at the anchor desk with Savannah Guthrie and Hoda Kotb, kicked things off with his signature charm. Chaka, welcome to Today. The Queen's Tour sounds epic. How do you keep that vocal fire after 50 years? The audience cheered, but Chaka's smile held a subtle edge as she settled in. Al, it's all about soul and truth. Thanks for having me, she replied, her voice a rich, velvety timbre. The crowd applauded, but Al leaned forward, his eyes twinkling. Soul? Chaka, your career is legendary, but some say your diva moments like that 2023 Grammys clash with Kirk Franklin are a bit dramatic. Don't you worry it overshadows the music? The question was light but pointed, echoing unverified 2025 YouTube claims of a clash, and Chaka's eyebrows arched. Dramatic? Al, my passion's real and not some act for headlines, she responded, her tone firm yet composed. The audience murmured, catching the defense, and Al's grin widened. Passion? Chaka, those viral outbursts like calling out Franklin for stealing your Shania, don't you think it's time to tone it down? The studio buzzed with tension, and Savannah tried to pivot. Chaka, the Queen's Tour with Patti and Stephanie, tell us about the setlist. But Chaka held her ground. No, Savannah, let's address why Al's framing my fire as drama. The crowd roared, split between those who loved Chaka's boldness and those who appreciated Al's warmth. Al, unfazed, raised an eyebrow. Drama? Chaka, I'm just asking what viewers think. Your queen energy's iconic, but is it always empowering or sometimes intimidating? Chaka's jaw tightened, her voice rising. Intimidating? Al, I've empowered women for decades as a nod, like some weathermen who judge from the forecast. The audience cheered, some clapping for Chaka's grit, others murmuring at Al's persistence. The producers, watching from the control room, exchanged nervous glances. This was veering off the feel-good script, mirroring debunked YouTube tales of Khan storming off. Al pressed on. Judge? Chaka, your Franklin feud went viral. Don't you regret how public it got? Chaka's eyes narrowed, her tone sharp. Regret? I owned my truth. Allah, you're twisting it into a scandal. The stage was a powder keg, the crowd fueling the fire, as cameras zoomed in on Chaka's steely gaze and Al's raised eyebrow, setting the scene for a fiery confrontation that would dominate headlines, though no verified 2025 incident occurred. As Today returned from a commercial break, the studio was a pressure cooker, the audience buzzing with excitement after the fiery opening exchange between Chaka Khan and Al Roker. The set's cheerful Rockefeller Plaza backdrop felt almost ironic against the simmering tension, as Hoda tried to reset with her warm empathy. Welcome back, folks. Chaka Khan's here, and we're talking queens. But Chaka, seated with her arms crossed, wasn't in the mood for pleasantries, her eyes locked on Al. Queens? Al, you've got more to say about my diva moments. Let's hear it, she said, her voice dripping with challenge. The crowd gasped, and Al leaned forward, his smile strained but charming. Chaka, I'm just curious. Your tour with Patti and Stephanie is legendary, but don't you worry your past clashes, like with Franklin, overshadow the harmony? The question doubled down on his earlier probe, and Chaka's jaw tightened. Overshadow? Al, my clashes are passionate, unlike your weather reports that blow hot and cold, she fired back, her timbre slicing through the applause. The audience erupted, some cheering Chaka's wit, others murmuring at the jab. Al, unfazed, raised an eyebrow. Hot and cold? Chaka, you're giving us this fierce queen vibe. Don't act surprised when we ask if it's always empowering or sometimes explosive. The jab was sharp, and Chaka's voice rose. Explosive? My fire ignites change. I'll not like your sunny forecasts that ignore storms. The crowd roared, and Savannah tried to intervene. Chaka, the queen's terse setlist sounds amazing at Let's Talk songs, but Chaka waved her off. No, Savannah, I'm tired of Al painting my passion as a problem for his segment. The accusation landed like a punch, and Al's grin faltered, his tone sharpening. Problem? Chaka, I'm just doing my job asking questions. You're the one getting defensive. The audience was in a frenzy, some chanting Chaka, while others clapped for Al's charm. Chaka leaned forward, her voice booming. Defensive? You're implying my strength's a flaw, Al, like I'm some diva caricature? The crowd gasped, and Al's face reddened, his voice trembling with frustration. Caricature? Chaka, I'm your fan, but you're acting like I'm attacking your whole legacy. Chaka's eyes narrowed, her tone icy. You are attacking me, Al, turning my fire into a punchline. I thought this was today, not a roast. The studio was chaos, the audience on its feet, as the producers signaled frantically for the band to play. The music started, but it couldn't drown out the drama. Al, his hands gesturing, fired back. Roast? Chaka, you're making this personal, acting like I'm the enemy. This is morning TV. Chaka stood, her hands on her hips. Morning TV? You're using me for drama, Al, and I'm not here for it. The crowd roared, and Al stood too, his voice booming. Drama? Chaka, you chose the spotlight. Don't cry foul when I ask real questions. The audience gasped, and the cameras stayed locked on the two, capturing every moment of the escalating feud. Chaka's face contorted with fury. Real questions? You're throwing shade to look clever. Al, I'm done. The producers, now in full panic, signaled for security, but the stage was a powder keg, and the fuse was burning fast. Despite no verified 2025 clash occurring, the Today studio was a battlefield, the air thick with the heat of the escalating clash between Chaka Khan and Al Roker, the audience on the edge of their seats as the verbal duel reached a fever pitch. Chaka, now standing, loomed over the set, her red pantsuit a bold statement as she pointed at Al. You think you're charming, Al, turning my legacy into your weather report circus, but I'm not your diva punchline. The crowd roared, split between those who admired Chaka's fire and those who lived for Al's warmth. Al, standing to match her, his voice sharp. Punchline. Chaka, you're serving up this queen energy. Don't act shocked when I question it. The jab was brutal, echoing unverified 2025 YouTube claims of Al challenging Chaka's diva reputation, and Chaka's voice boomed. Question? You're accusing me of being dramatic, Al, when I'm just passionate. The audience gasped, and the band tried to play a light riff, but the noise was drowned out by the crowd's cheers. Al, his eyes glinting, fired back. Passionate? Chaka, your Franklin feud was explosive. Don't blame me for calling it out. The crowd gasped, and Chaka's face reddened, her voice trembling with fury. Calling it out? I've empowered generations, Al, and I'm still standing. The insult was a direct hit, and Al's smile vanished, his tone icy. Standing? You chose the spotlight. Chaka, don't cry foul when I do my job. The studio was chaos, the audience on its feet, as Hoda tried to regain control. Chaka, the Queen's tour is historical. Let's focus there. Chaka, her fists clenched, snapped. Historic? Al's twisting my fire into clickbait. Hoda, and I'm sick of it. The crowd roared, some chanting Chaka, while others shouted Al. As the tension skyrocketed, Al, his hands on his hips, shot back. Clickbait. You gave us the script with your viral moments. Chaka, don't get mad when I read it. Chaka's voice rose to a shout. Read it? You're attacking my integrity, Al, like I'm some over-the-top act. The audience gasped, and Al's eyes narrowed,